Welcome Kiwi Yoinkers and all other folk to Sunsaw Gaming. Today we have a Chieftain Mk.6 video. Now this is a very nice tank. Very nice tank. Apart from this little commander's hatch on the top here, the turret on this thing is absolutely insane on the front. It is a very big commander's hatch there, and from a hull down position you can see it sticks up quite high, so people are going to target that. And if you're not rocking or moving back and forth while you're hull down, it is going to be basically butter to your enemies, and they're going to go for it every single time without fail. So always keep the tank moving, always rock back and forwards on an angle to your enemy if possible, because that will basically make it harder for them to hit. They're going to have to move their gun from side to side to try and get those shots on it. So do that. Now, that turret armor there, 350 millimeters on the front. This thing is a very, very good tank. You're going to see there the damage per minute with calibrated shells is 2,945, but that goes up to 3,167 here, with a 7.5 second reload. So this is the loadout that I use for my Chieftain Mk.6. That bottom one there I would probably change to a refined gun, but that's entirely up to you and your own preferences on how you want to play this tank. So we're just going to jump into a first battle here, which has been sent in by this Joker. And he does very well. He does very well here on Normandy. Now, elevation. I went over this in my previous hull down videos on YouTube. So do go back. Do go watch my hull down 101 in training and hull down 101 in combat. They may help you learn just a little bit more about how to do it effectively. And this tank does its best work when it is hull down. So he's just going to push up here. This is supremacy. He is going high, and getting elevation over your enemies is the right thing to do. You want to have height. You want to be above them. If you are above them, it minimizes your tank's exposure and makes that hatch just a little bit harder to hit. A very, very unlucky shot peeking over the top there, but he gets a nice bounce in return. Now you can see his whole team have gone up sort of D side here. He's got a TD sitting back and an AFK medium tank, but he's going to sit here and he's going to use this ridgeline. Very nice shot into the side of that T95, by the way. But he's going to use this ridgeline. He's going to use it and try and stay as hull down as he can. Gets a very nice track shot there, just keeping an eye on where the enemy goes. Now he gets another one there into the T95 and he pushes into this little this bowl. Now on this map, if you're not flanked by enemies, this can be a very, very, very strong hull down position, as you can see right here. Unfortunately he does hit the dirt, but you notice he's not staying still for any more than it takes for him to shoot. Sees a nice 50B over here, AFK, goes for the nice HE round into the top of the turret. Very well done, very nicely placed shot. As you can see, this tank is very accurate, which is why I don't use the refined gun on it. But he's hoping this 121B will come back, and you can see he's just staying on the ridgeline, and he is constantly moving. That little rocking motion he just done there, going back and forth, is all you need to do for this turret, for that hatch on top, to make it harder to hit. A very, very nice snapshot into the M103. It does not get much better than that. The accuracy on this thing is amazing. Unfortunately, he does bounce off the Leopard 1's gun. But he's still, as you can see, hull down. He's got his tank on an angle sideways to the enemy. And you can see as he's pulling up and rocking backwards, it's going to be very difficult for the enemy to hit him. Now, one thing you do have to take note of when playing the Chieftain is that it is a mid-mounted turret. So when you peek up so as you can see the enemy, you're also going to expose the front of your tank 80% of the time, depending on how high on the ridge you are. Like right there, that mouse has a shot into his front track, but he does go for the easier shot on the 57 Heavy. I mean, overexposing your tank in this Chieftain can be very easy when poking up over a ridge. Now, if you're flat behind a ridge and you're just using the flat ground and just using the ridge as a wall, you're not going to overexpose your tank too much, but you do have to be wary of it. Unfortunately, he gets tracked there and misses his shot on the 121B, but just keep it hull down if you can. I mean, remember, you are going to expose your tank if you peek up over top of a ridge. So turning your tank sideways and working the basically working the ridge line without peeking up over it is a very effective way of doing it. Unfortunately, it takes a little too long to fire that shot there and misses on the M103. But yeah, you get more gun depression off the side of your tank than off the front. So if you do work a ridge line and you stay sideways to that ridge line and just go backwards and forwards, only keeping your turret exposed, it's going to be very difficult for an enemy to pin you. Very, very nice match there. Takes it away with 4,794 damage. Comes out the other side with an ace mastery there. 3 kills. Very, very good work and great hull down play in the Chieftain Mk.6. We do have a second match here for you, and this one was sent in by KMS. Anyway, we're on Mines for this one, and Mines is a perfect map for the Chieftain Mk.6 if you go to the hill. If you don't go to the hill and you're driving a Chieftain Mk.6, you're not doing your team any favours. Like I say, this thing is very, very solid hull down. And in this match, you will see just how bad you can get hurt when you overexpose your tank. Now you'll see straight away he is pulling up, but he's pulled up on an angle, so when he's pulling back and rocking just like that, just a very small rock is enough to make enemies bounce. Unfortunately, he does take a shot from the enemy TD there because he was overexposed. But I mean, it's going to happen. You can't bounce every single shot. And you can see the enemy here just aiming for that hatch on top, and they're going to aim for it every chance they get. He is the only person currently defending this hill. I mean, he does have all 3 tank destroyers behind him at this point, so there is no need for him to overexpose himself. But I mean, everybody wants to keep firing, keep using their damage per minute, so he is going to keep exposing himself. Just hopefully those TDs don't pick too much of his HP. Now you can see here, you know, he's not pulling to the very top of the ridge. If he'd done that, he would take a lot of damage. Takes another shot from the Yag Tiger there, unfortunate, but gets him back in return. Very well done. Now, this right here, using the ridge line and being completely sideways like he is this is what I was talking about. If you can do that in a tank, you're maximizing your gun depression, you're maximizing your maneuverability, and you're maximizing the movement of that commander's hatch when you rock back and forwards. And a decent job to him for it. I mean, he's now down to 566 HP. He has held this hill by himself for a very long time, and he only has the 1 tank destroyer supporting him now. With tanks getting aggressive like this T-62A on the top of a ridge, you do not want to back down. Like, if you back down and he pulls up, I mean, he is going to get shots very easily into the top plate of your hull, and it's going to hurt. Nice support from the TD there, taking out the medium tank, and now he's just got a little bit more cover. But there you go, that was that exposure I was telling you about. He pulled up forwards, and you can see the shell hit mark there in the very front of the tank. Now you can guarantee from where his turret's sitting to the front of his tank there, that entire piece would have been exposed for that shot. But again, he turns himself sideways, he pulls up, gets a very nice shot into the E75 and backs off. I mean, there's no need to get aggressive in this tank. If you can hold a position like this, stay hull down, stay sideways, stay using that gun depression, you can do absolute wonders. He held that entire hill there for almost a total of 4 minutes by himself, and that's what you can do in this tank, staying hull down. Now you're going to see it again here. He's got the mouse, but instead of pushing right up to where the mouse is, he's hanging very far back, very far back, and using just, you know, the undulation of the terrain here to keep himself low and keep it hull down. If he pushed up to try and get that mouse, he would overexpose himself. He would end up having a very soft hull, and the mouse could quite easily finish him off. I mean, as it is, that mouse fires an HE at him and it could have killed him anyway. But he stayed very close to the edge of the cliff there. He did have TD support and he used it very well. So just stay hull down. It's very easy. Turn sideways, rock back and forwards. Wait for your enemy to fire before you pull up to a ridgeline if you are going to pull up forward, because that way they are not going to be able to shoot your hull when you overexpose it. And I mean, it's going to happen. You are going to overexpose your hull in this tank every time, every match. It doesn't matter. So I hope that seeing what these guys just done in their matches and how I've explained it helps you. And very nice mastery there. 5,800 damage, 3 kills, top of the team, basically carried them. Great job, Thick Gun. If you like my content or the sound of my voice, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Like my videos, comment if you wish. Until next time, stay safe, use cover. Cheers.